It's 6 o'clock here. Why don't we get started? Good evening and welcome to this evening's meeting of the Woodbury County Zoning Commission. Today's date is November 28, 2016, and it is exactly 6 o'clock. Today's meeting will be audio taped and minutes will be prepared. We expect that all parties to be asked those present to turn off their cell phones and set to vibrate. Those in attendance are asked to legibly complete the attendance sheet upon the front table up there somewhere.
Yeah, it's there.
It's there, okay. I would like to take a moment to review the procedures that the commission will follow tonight. First, the commission will handle the normal housekeeping agenda items. Then for each application on the agenda, we'll open the public hearing on that item. The planning and zoning staff will then present the staff report, including the staff recommendations. Any letters or other communications received from the public prior to the hearing will be entered into the record. The applicant then will have the opportunity to present his or her case and respond to the staff report. Next, we will hear comments from the public. If you would like to speak either in support or against the application, you must come to the microphone. Please state your name, address for the record. All interested parties shall be heard, but repetitious comments should be avoided. Repetitious or irrelevant comments may be ruled out of order by the chair. I ask that you remain respectful and courteous with your comments at all times. After all public comments have been read and heard, after all public comments have been heard, the staff and applicants may make a closing statement. The hearing shall then be closed by motion and vote. Thereafter, no further comments from the staff, public, or applicants may be heard unless asked for by the commission. The commission shall then deliberate the case and may ask questions of the applicant, the staff, or any party offering testimony. However, such questions do not reopen the hearing for any additional comments from the public unless so requested or approved by the commission. The commission will then formulate and vote on a motion. The motion will typically either grant or deny the requested application. Any commission members who have ex parte communication to place in the record of this meeting shall do so prior to the beginning of the deliberation of the respective agenda item. And with that, first thing on the agenda is any citizen that's not on the agenda would like to address the commission can do so now. Seeing none, we will go to the second agenda item would be the minutes of the zoning commission's meeting of September 26, 2016. Minutes approval.
I would like a motion to accept the minutes as written.
With that correction.
There's only date correction, I'm sorry, which really wasn't on the minutes.
That wasn't in the minutes. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, I thought yeah. Was it on the agenda?
No, agenda was right. The narrative, item number 2 on page 1, reflected a 2015 date instead of 16. It had the number of the date wrong, but it doesn't impact the minutes of the previous.
So was there a second?
I'll second.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll second.
Flip a coin.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Third agenda item, a public hearing and recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. Reference the final plat of the Cooley Edition, a minor subdivision, GIS parcel 884519200007.
Application background, location, and zoning. Kirk and Tamara Shielhouse have filed a subdivision application and final platting. The platting proposes to subdivide a 36.73 acre parcel in 2 lots. The intent is to create independent parcels for the existing single-family dwelling at its new location upon the parent parcel. New construction has occurred on the parcel, including basement excavation, footings, and poured foundation. since we sent out your packets, a building permit has been filed and a permit issued for this construction. No new above-grade dwelling construction is stated. Some but not all outbuilding structures will be located on the proposed Lot 1. The parent parcel lies within rural Woodbury County, abutting the southern side of 190th Street. The parent parcel is serviced by a drive address 2460 190th Street. The drive is located approximately 0.4 miles west of the intersection of 190th Street and Garner Avenue. The location is within a portion of the northwest of the northeast of Section 19 in Mobile Township. The parent parcel is zoned ag preservation. The parent parcel is not located within any special flood hazard area or within any drainage district. The current and proposed use of the parent parcel and its structures are classified as legal conforming uses within the ag preservation zoning district designation and within Woodbury County zoning ordinances. Existing and proposed single-family dwelling construction meets the allowable residential density. CSRs. The primary use of the parent parcel is residential and agricultural. The parent parcel's average unadjusted CSR2 value is 41.03. This value is acceptable for subdivision plating approval consideration. Paving agreement. The location of the platted lots is along a gravel surface roadway right-of-way. A paving agreement meeting paving policy standards is required as a conditional for final plat approval. There's no extraterritorial review because it's not applicable as there are no incorporated areas within 2 miles of the parent parcel. Utilities. Well and septic systems service the existing dwelling on proposed Lot 1. Both systems are entirely located within Lot 1. The property owner notice. The 3 property owners within 1,000 feet within the certified abstractor's affidavit were notified by letter of the public hearing. As of November 21st, 2016, the Planning and Zoning Office has not received comment from any property owner owning property within 1,000 feet. Agency comments. I'm not going to list them all here, but we'll go through the ones that have responded either before or after your packets were mailed. The responses that are noted there are as of October 20, excuse me, that's not right, November 21st. We received no responses other than from the real estate department stating that the subdivision name has been reserved and is available for use. Subsequent to your packets going out, we did receive a response from the Woodbury County engineer dated November 23rd, 2016. I believe we provided you with a copy of that. For the record, we would like the record to reflect the engineer's comments that the closure of the plat is found to be in compliance with Iowa code, and further that he has reviewed the parcel for access and states the following. The existing driveway for Lot 1 meets county standards. A new driveway for Lot 2 could be placed approximately 520 feet east of Lot 1's driveway, which is also about 150 feet west of the drive, address 2470 190th Street. A culvert will be required whenever the landowner wants a driveway for Lot 2. The owner is to call the county, in this case, Secondary Road Department, for a permit for the new driveway. He further states he has no other concerns or issues on the subdivision. In relationship to Lot 2, the plat is silent as to any proposed drive. We now know the area in which it can be placed if it's desired. Of interest here is the fact that this particular farm consists of numerous parcels, and I think we're around 340 acres. And there's significant frontage along the south side of 190th, as well as the west side of Garner Avenue, including, I think, another field entrance that we can see on the mapping if we looked off of Garner. So he has access to this parcel either by any easement he'd sign with the Lot 1 owner or through alternative parcels, which he can gain access to the parent parcel. Our staff recommendation consists of supporting any final plat approval you might consider making a recommendation upon, subject to the applicant recording a paving agreement meeting the county's paving standards and policies. We've forwarded language regarding the paving document to the applicant as well as to his legal counsel to await the drafting of that document. Typically, we hold scheduling the agenda item for final plat approval before the Board of Supervisors until we have a photocopy of the executed paving agreement. That's what we would intend to do here. As far as attachments go, we provided you with the typical location and parcel information, the final platting, the topographical contour mapping, aerial photography, and on-site photographs. Your commission is asked to hold the required public hearing and to make recommendation on final plat approval to the Board of Supervisors. Be happy to answer any questions you have of staff.
Anybody have any questions?
This is a typical application and platting procedure to allow a family member to move the existing house onto a very close but different location on the parcel, and then take title independently, of course.
Any questions? Anybody want to speak out there? Nope. Entertain a motion. Close the
Motion to close the hearing.
Okay.
The motion and the second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Although, from a planning standpoint, flag lots are obviously legal, but they're somewhat discouraged. This particular flag lot, access to the right-of-way meets the 25-foot minimum required under the ordinances, as well as the lot width, the building site meets the required 200 feet width. So it is a legal conforming lot.
On the driveway issue with Mark, is 200 feet his required minimum distance?
It varies from roadway to roadway.
He adjusts that
Yeah,
with,
he goes up, checks visibility, topography, who knows whatever else in his equation, and comes up with some separation distance from new drive proposed versus existing drives. And I've seen some places he wanted to go 300, and this is about as short as I've seen him agree to go, 150 feet. So I'm sure he's pushing to the east because of issues related to maybe sight lines between the existing drive, which is really the pole of the flag, and where he would allow that other drive to go. I've been out there once and I can't remember the exact topography relationship between this 500-foot point and the existing drive. But it's the existing drive at the top of the hill.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
that's typically how it goes. So he doesn't want to put one right over the peak of the hill, so to speak. And that's why he's pushing it 500 feet that way. Which probably shortens the distance to the next drive.
Safety concerns or?
Yeah, and we rely typically on him unless we see something grossly in error, and I don't think that's the case here.
Any further discussion?
thing we would be required under county policy.
I think we got that, maybe they haven't got it to you. but
I haven't seen it yet, unless it came in real late in the day.
I'm pretty sure we got it done.
Have you signed it as yet, Kirk?
I'm pretty sure I did. That's
Okay.
what I thought I did, but I didn't hear.
Okay, well,
Now, that's a dirt road past there, so that's not everybody pays.
yeah, it's,
But I mean, we'll sign, I mean, we're not,
okay,
I thought it.
yeah.
Make a motion, we approve with the condition of receipt of the paving agreement.
I will second that.
Motion and a second to approve it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're done.
Thank you.
We will await a copy of the executed paving agreement, and then we'll place it on the Board of Supervisors' agenda. You'll be notified of when that will occur. It is more of an administrative step than it is a formal public process, but you're certainly welcome to come and be heard. Typically, they accept the recommendation of their zoning
Yeah,
commission.
I don't think that's part
Okay, but we'll let you know the date.
I'm pretty sure, I mean, I don't know where it is, but.
Well,
If
it
it's
would be
possible,
something
it's-
that, if I recall, Mr. Molstead is your attorney. It went to him maybe a week ago, but we had a lot of holidays. I'd be very surprised if you signed it
He
already.
sent some mail from him. He know that, he sent, I've not been in his office a lot, so that might, because I've been having a hard time getting hold of him about something else. so.
Just so you know, we will not schedule this for the next step till we know that thing's been signed.
Oh,
Okay.
I'll get on that.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Next thing on the agenda is a public hearing and recommendation to the Board of Supervisors in reference to the final plat for ANCA edition, a minor subdivision, GIS parcel 894635300016.
Application, background, location, and zoning. Anka Properties LLC has filed a subdivision application and final plating. The plating proposes to subdivide a 4.0 net acre parcel into 2 lots. The intent is to create independent parcels for selected existing structures. It is the intent of the applicant to sell Lot 2, retaining Lot 1 for business operation and leasing opportunities. The parent parcel lies within rural Woodbury County, approximately 3.5 miles east of Sioux City, abutting the north side of Highway 20. The parent parcel is serviced by a drive address 1819 and 1821 Highway 20 Lawton. The location is within a portion of the southeast and southwest of Section 35 of Concord Township. The parent parcel is Zone GC, General Commercial. A minor portion of the northwestern corner of the parent parcel is located within a Zone A special flood hazard area, commonly referred to as the 100-year floodplain. No structures are located within the floodplain. The parent parcel does not lie within any drainage district. The current and proposed use of the parent parcel and its structures are classified as legal conforming uses within the GC zoning district designation and Woodbury County zoning ordinances. Undetermined future uses of the respective lots may require rezoning of one or both lots. CSR. The primary use of the parent parcel is commercial. The parent parcel's average unadjusted CSR2 value is not available as the parcel has no historical agricultural use. The adjacent parcel's CSR2 value is 52.11 and within the value acceptable for subdivision plating approval consideration. Paving agreement. The location of the platted lots is along a hard surface state road right-of-way. A paving agreement meeting paving policy standards is not required. Extraterritorial review is not applicable. There is no incorporated area within 2 miles of the parent parcel. Utilities. Independent well and septic systems service and are entirely located within the respective proposed lots. Site mapping provided shows those locations. Implementation of parking, loading, and sign ordinances. The parking loading site plan is provided for Lot 1. It's in your packets. The site plan provides for 30 spaces and 1 handicap space within Lot 1. The site plan will meet state code and zoning ordinance standards for almost any use mix within Lot 1 structure. which is 25,360 square feet. Signage ordinances will be implemented within any new sign permitting process. Lot 2's parking loading site plan is not available at this time as the use mix is undetermined. Sufficient areas exist to meet most any use mix for the lot's multiple structures. The zoning office will work toward compliance with any Lot 2 buyer. Signage ordinances will be implemented with any new sign permitting process. Rezoning. It is possible one or both lots may have to be rezoned if any future use falls outside those permitted under the current general commercial zoning designation. It is possible buyers or tenants with limited or general industrial use may be interested in all or portions of the various structures. A planned development overlay or a conditional use application may be required for one of the or both lots. Property owner notice. The 12 property owners within 1,000 feet listed within the certified abstractor's affidavit were notified by letter of the public hearing. As of November 21st, the Planning and Zoning Office had not received comment from any notified property owner. Agency comments. Again, I'm not going to read them all. We'll just go through the ones that responded. Your package show that Mid-American Energy requested an electronic copy of the final plat. We requested that the surveyor provide that platting. We sent the request to Mr. Fagan approximately a week ago. We did receive comment from the Woodbury County engineer, and for the record, we'll refer to his November 23rd email and attached letter regarding Anka addition, a minor subdivision. He had two comments. First of all, closure. He checked and found that the closure on the plat was in compliance with state code. And he states he did not review the parcel for access issue as the parcel is a U.S. highway and under the jurisdiction of the IDOT. It's the close of his comment. Final plat adjustments. We mailed you a final plat that was marginally adjusted after the mailing. I think we provided you with a photocopy of the adjustment, and I've got one up here on the screen. I don't know which one you want to look towards, but I'll read into the record first, and then we'll take a look at a map. The final plat and topographical mapping provided reflects an ingress-egress easement in Lot 1. On November 22nd, the zoning office received an amended Mylar plat changing the dimensions of the portion of the easement within Lot 1. The general location of the easement and its length remain the same. However, the width of the easement varies from the previous 18-foot width to a varying width of 12 feet to 31.3 feet. This change was made to provide Lot 2 with an easement area to more efficiently use a nearby Lot 2 structure. A copy of the portion of the Mylar plat reflecting the change is provided in your packets. Staff recommendation. Subject to public hearing testimony, the staff recommendation supports the final plat approval recommendation by your commission, conditioned upon: should future intended uses not be permitted under the then existing zoning designation, the then lot owner or tenant shall obtain the necessary zoning district designation needed for the intended use. 2, the lot owners and their tenants shall comply with Woodbury County parking, loading, and sign ordinances. And 3, any recorded final plat shall reflect the easement dimension change that I just read into the record. We reviewed our mailings to agencies and to other county departments. Your chairman talked with the office today and asked if we had sent a letter to the DOT, and I omitted that mailing. It did not occur. We made a couple phone calls to the DOT today and have not received an oral response. Based upon what we know of this particular location in the existing drive, we wouldn't anticipate the DOT would have any issues. But if you wish to condition plat approval to take into consideration any of an ultimate DOT comment, if they provide one, I don't anticipate they will, but if they do, we can add that as a condition, as an unknown condition, if you wish. So there would be 3 recommended and a 4th if you're so inclined to go there on the DOT issue. For those of you, most of you, I think you are aware that there's a restriction on new driveways along the Highway 20 corridor as you proceed east out of town to our county line. Unless that location has been previously reserved as a potential site. And my understanding with talking with the DOT is, hey, those are almost all used up. There's hardly anything left. So every DOT request for a new driveway I've seen, unless it's one of those fluky preordained locations, is denied. So I find it would be very unusual for, I think, the applicant to ask for another drive or to ask for a change in drive. Likewise, I find it would be highly unlikely the DOT would ask for a different driveway location due to this subdivision process. I think the downside on this is negligible, that we're going to receive any comment from the DOT that would be significant enough to postpone proceeding forward, but that's your decision.
The only chance maybe, like, if it was rezoned for a different use possibly, then they could, since it's a shared drive, then they could voice.
I don't think they would come in here with there's no new structures placed. There's no new square footage.
Right.
But there would have been, without the subdivision, there would have been no opportunity for the DOT to restrict the use of that drive just because a new tenant moved in, a new owner ended up buying all or part of the parent parcel. So I see no reason why they would now raise any issue related to it. The only loose end that your chairman mentioned was, hey, how about DOT construction? Is that those 2 lanes, which would be westbound lanes currently, are they going to be redone? And will driveways be reassessed or elevations changed?
But that could have happened.
That happened anyway, and they deal with it.
As they get.
Yeah.
I guess just for the sake of argument that to provide for their input, since they haven't responded, would it be wise to at least just include it in the motion?
We've already started that process orally. We'll get whatever they want to make in writing if they care to make a comment. And at the least confirm the fact that they were given the opportunity to decline.
I think it's gonna be like, all the other ones, there's no response, but at least they have that opportunity.
Right. At least they have the opportunity to respond.
Sure.
That way they aren't coming back to those folks.
Right, that's what I mean, since the notification was only, you said today was the phone
First
call.
contact.
It's just so they can't come back and say, well, you didn't give us an opportunity.
Right.
If we allow that, then they can't even use that.
Yeah. Can I ask the applicant a question? Craig, you haven't had any conversations with any DOT representative regarding this process, have you?
Yeah, I will have one comment. When we first bought that property about 20 years ago, we did inquire about any additional potential for driveways, and the answer was at that time flat out no. So that goes along with
What
what
we
there were no opportunities to add. So it wasn't. I don't see that could ever be raised based on that. So.
And I wouldn't see, even if they were going to change the location, they ever allowing a 4-acre parcel a second drive. Because you can't get the separation distances you would ordinarily need to do it, unless there was a turning lane put in there or something.
Yeah, but the only I can think they could probably do if they got into any kind of discussion and maybe put a frontage road in there, go up to like Icon or something and have a frontage road up and down there.
I don't even know if there's enough room for that.
Could be close.
It'd be tight,
Right.
yeah.
It would have to be a private front.
page 6 of 7, agency comment, the date's October 21st, 2015.
Yeah, it's, it must be, it's November.
Okay,
Thank you. We'll
and
change that.
16, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Where's the
It's in,
6 or
on
7?
page 6, about a third of the way down,
Agency comment?
and I have an error in the date.
Where's the
That-
mistake?
Instead of October 21st,
yes.
it should be November 21st,
November.
2016.
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One second.
6 of 7, under agency comment.
Oh, gotcha. Is it
Did you feel comfortable with the change in the plating regarding this internal easement? You know, I've got, I thought, yeah, we can probably do, oh, you got it. Okay. What's highlighted reflects the current plat as it will be recorded, which is different than the big plat you were provided.
Oh, that's the variable. Okay.
Yeah. North to south, same length, it's just that we get narrower on the south side of the easement and wider on the north side of the easement. And if you look at the aerial that shows the structures, you'll see why he wants that.
So that.
Craig, are we still working with the same buyer?
Yes.
Any more comments, questions, concerns?
Motion to go into closed session.
Motion to close the hearing.
I'll second that.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So, motion for the,
Approval of the final plat. Recommendation to Board of Supervisors with the three provisions in addition to subject to DOT comments.
Can we use that language verbatim, 1, 2, and 3?
Yes.
Okay with you? And then the fourth one, I want to just confirm, we will
notify the DOT.
We will be in contact with the DOT as a condition, and any comment they offer will be provided to the Board of Supervisors in the formal plat approval process.
Yep, that sounds fine. A second.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item E, we're in business.
Similar statement, we'll take this to the Board of Supervisors. It's going to be difficult to do on our next Tuesday meeting, but we'll do our best to do that. If we can get it on whatever Tuesday meeting we get it on, we usually need about 24 hours after that to get signatures, fly this miler around the courthouse as best we can, and then we'll turn it over to, I assume you, Craig, and you'll have to run down some other signatures. And we'll walk through you on that process.
I'll take your pen.
Well, you got that one.
I guess I didn't know.
Next time on the agenda.
Seeing no other citizens, entertain a motion to, unless you've got something done.
You got any questions of staff or any issues? We're plugging along.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Have a motion to adjourn and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?